Tobias and I walk along the edge of the water, leaving behind the tranquility of the Japanese rock garden for the uncertainty of the pond. The fog rolls in more quickly now as great plumes of white mist descend over the park, covering first the tops of the redwood trees, then moving down to the eucalyptus and spruces. The uppermost branch of a Monterey pine briefly pokes through the haze, glistens with the refracted light of the sun, then vanishes again, as if tucking in for an afternoon nap. The birds fall quiet, the insects stop chirping, and even the distant hum of automobiles is muted by the heavy air. An uneasy peace pervades the park, a kind of truce called between the elements, a moment to recharge and reload. Nature takes a breather, maybe to rethink the whole thing, perhaps to re-examine its purpose and meaning. Suddenly, the thick blanket of fog begins to swirl frantically, then funnels down toward the surface of the water as if being sucked into a void. Tobias and I fight to maintain our bearings as the churning whirlwind widens and darkens and begins to ingest everything in its sight. A moment of pure madness descends upon us in which the laws of nature capitulate and leave us to battle with an irrational universe. The funnel inhales everything in its path: trees, flowers, bushes, birds. Around and around it spins the branch of a redwood, the stem of a daffodil, the nest of a goldfinch. The whole of the botanical garden is being swept up and spun around. Pine cones, turtle shells, me, Tobias. We're all being buffeted by the winds and thrown in every direction. Gravity gives way to weightlessness. The magnetic field collapses. There's no north and no south. No up and no down. A cormorant flaps defenseless against the wind. A catfish paddles futilely against the current. A squirrel claws uselessly against the bark. The entire park is flying by, and we're being tossed about by a great centrifugal force that sweeps us off our feet and spins us in an ever-widening arc. And then, a woman appears out of the whirlwind riding the back of a tiger. Oh, come on. And with a snap of her fingers, the branches return to the trees, the water to the pond, and the birds to the sky. Just like that, gravity returns, north is north, south is south, and it's all as it was, except that that woman has commandeered our spot at the edge of the bamboo pond. With her black hair, red lips, and piercing brown eyes, she looks like a mythological figure from some Hindu fable. Surely I've seen her before. Was it at the lake in Pokhara, when we stood beneath the hanging clouds of Annapurna? Was it on the train through Rajasthan when we vanished into a dust storm? Was it on Nathan Road in Hong Kong when we got lost in a dance at the Dragons? I know I've seen her somewhere. Of course I have. She's the woman on the bus I wanted to talk to, but was afraid to approach. She's the woman in the restaurant buried inside a book. She's the woman in the marketplace who disappears into an alley. She's the woman at the bar stirring her drink with a plastic straw. She's the woman on the next mountaintop, and in the opposite subway, and in the car in the other lane. She's the woman from the apartment across the street.